While tensions on the border escalate, there are attempts in Ankara to impose a media blackout. The recently elected government has begun trying to stop images of the conflict from reaching the Turkish people. Lawrence Lee has more.
These are the images the Turkish government doesn't want the people to see. The fear, apparently, that reaction to the pictures of 8 soldiers captured by the PKK could be so extreme. The government has also attempted to block other TV reporting of the protests and military build-up, on the grounds that it might make the public emotionally unstable and project the army in a bad light, which has left Turkish TV crews in the south near the front line with an uncomfortable choice: run the pictures and risk their jobs, or accept the ban, pack up and go home. After the ban was announced, all the journalists talked to each other and we said, what are we going to do? At the moment, no one knows. We're still waiting to hear from our headquarters. They need to clarify what kind of news they don't want us to broadcast from this part of the country. In little Kurdish towns like Silopi, the choices for reporters are even more stark. Halil Joshkan runs a small newspaper in the town and finds himself under the microscope every day, forced to make impossible choices in his descriptions of the men from the PKK. When conflicts happen, we write about the PKK. If we use the word terrorist, the next day they put a gun on my desk. They say, either you don't call us terrorists anymore, or you know what will happen. We have had these threats. But if we don't use the word terrorist, the state may put pressure on us. They say to us, you're worse than the PKK TV channels. We deal with this all the time. One of the effects of this pressure is that Kurdish channels have to broadcast to their own people from exile in Europe, with songs like this lamenting dead PKK fighters, and viewers' text calling on the guerrillas to take to the hills. Watching this in a public place is out of the question. It's a matter of life and death for Kurdish people. If we don't have these channels, how will we have our voices heard? If they use chemical weapons against us, the Turkish channels will never talk about it because there's so much censorship.
In one sense, all this reflects Turkey's dilemma, a country that's trying as hard as it can to become democratic, but which, in a time of crisis, is unable to stop the thought police from taking over. But what it also shows is the same problem that any country with a separatist movement has, which is that opinions can become so polarised, people so angry, that if you allow people to think and speak exactly as they want to, it can have disastrous consequences.
At least some Turkish TV teams have now decided to throw in the towel and leave the scene of their country's crisis. Local Kurds, meanwhile, sit around and discuss their opinions quietly, left to read between the lines. Lawrence Lee, Al Jazeera, Silopi in southern Turkey.
The European Union has urged Turkey to make substantial changes to a law restricting freedom of speech. The Union also wants the country to press on with other reforms crucial to its attempt to join the European bloc. The controversial law makes it a crime to insult Turkish identity or the country's institutions. Nobel Prize-winning author Orhan Pamuk, Armenian journalist Hrant Dink are amongst those prosecuted under Article 301. Dink, who wrote about the killing of Armenians in 1915, was shot dead in January by a Turkish nationalist.